First Contact. The Dominion's Mistake. The Galactic Dominion's flagship emerged from hyperspace above Earth with the casual arrogance of an empire that had subjugated 1,000 worlds. Admiral Xinthar, his crystalline form gleaming under the bridge lights, regarded the blue planet with mild disdain. Humanity had achieved faster-than-light travel barely 2 decades ago, and their primitive fusion drives were an embarrassment to galactic civilization. Begin the standard containment protocol. Xinthar commanded, his voice resonating through the ship's neural network. These humans have advanced too quickly. Their chaotic development threatens the careful balance we've maintained for millennia. The Dominion's fleet materialized around Earth's orbit in perfect formation. 5,000 ships arranged in a geometric pattern that would have made mathematicians weep. Their arrival coincided with dawn breaking over New York, Tokyo, and London simultaneously, a calculated move to demonstrate their absolute control over space and time. On Earth, Dr. Elena Santos watched the alien ships through the Quantum Observatory in Chile, her dark eyes reflecting the holographic display. As the world's leading expert in xenophysics, she should have been terrified. Instead, she smiled. They're using 6th-generation quantum fields for their formation control, she murmured, her fingers dancing across the holographic interface. Impressive, but predictable. Like everything else they've built, it's perfect. And that's exactly their weakness. In Washington, D.C., General Sarah Chen received Elena's preliminary analysis with a grim satisfaction. The Chinese-American veteran had spent the last 15 years preparing Earth for this moment, though the politicians had called her paranoid. Now, as she stood in the Pentagon's deepest bunker, those same politicians were begging for her insight. The Dominion believes in perfect order, she explained to the Joint Chiefs. Their technology, their tactics, their entire civilization is built on predictable patterns. But humanity? She smiled, an expression that had made alien diplomats nervous for years. We thrive in chaos. The Dominion's ultimatum came exactly 1 hour after their arrival, broadcast simultaneously to every electronic device on Earth. Admiral Xinthar's crystalline face appeared on billions of screens, his voice translated into every human language. People of Earth, he began, with the practiced condescension of someone addressing children, your species has advanced too rapidly, too chaotically. You've achieved in centuries what should take millennia. This represents an unacceptable risk to galactic stability. Submit to Dominion oversight, and we will guide your development along approved paths. Resist, and we will reduce your civilization to a pre-industrial state. You have 24 hours to comply. In the Pentagon bunker, General Chen's smile grew wider. Send our response, she ordered. Dr. Santos's face appeared on the Dominion's command screen. Honored Admiral, she began, her voice carefully modulated to convey respect and fear. We are overwhelmed by your magnificent presence. Might we humbly request a demonstration of your power? Perhaps a small display. We're simple beings, you see, and visual aids help us understand our limitations. Admiral Xinthar preened visibly. These humans were even more primitive than expected, already cowering in submission. A reasonable request, he declared. Observe the power of true civilization. One of the Dominion's ships broke formation, approaching Earth's moon. A beam of pure energy lanced out, carving the Dominion's symbol into the lunar surface with surgical precision. The display was meant to terrify, to demonstrate power beyond human comprehension. In her observatory, Elena's fingers never stopped moving across her holographic controls. Every frequency, every quantum fluctuation, every pattern in the energy beam was recorded and analyzed. The Dominion had just given her exactly what she needed, a detailed look at their weapons technology. Thank you, Admiral, she responded, her voice trembling convincingly. We are suitably impressed. Might we have time to prepare our formal submission, to gather our leaders and organize our response properly? Xinthar granted them their request with magnificent condescension. After all, what harm could a few more hours do? These humans were clearly accepting their rightful place in the galaxy's perfect order. But in secure facilities around the world, humanity was already moving. Alina's data was being processed by quantum computers hidden in deep bunkers. General Chen's special forces were deploying to classified locations, and in laboratories across the planet, human scientists were doing what they did best, finding ways to break the unbreakable. The Dominion had made a fundamental mistake. They saw humanity's rapid advancement as a flaw, a dangerous aberration that needed to be controlled. They never considered that this very chaos, this ability to innovate and adapt at unprecedented speeds, was humanity's greatest strength. And in 24 hours, they would learn exactly why the galaxy should fear human ingenuity. Hidden strengths. Preparation in plain sight. While the Dominion ships hung in perfect formation above Earth, humanity was anything but idle. In the sprawling underground complex beneath the Australian outback, Dr. Raj Patel stood before a holographic display of the alien fleet, his weathered hands manipulating quantum probability matrices with practiced ease. "Look at their formation," he explained to the gathered military leaders. "It's mathematically perfect. And that's their weakness. They rely on absolute precision, but the universe isn't precise. It's chaotic, quantum, probabilistic. And humans, we're the masters of working with chaos." Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in a facility known only as Deep Point Zero, Captain Maya Rodriguez was training the first wave of quantum warfare pilots. Her simulators didn't try to match the Dominion's perfect formations. Instead, they taught pilots to fight like schools of fish, like flocks of starlings. Organic, unpredictable, beautiful in their chaos. "Forget everything you know about traditional space combat," she instructed her pilots. "The Dominion expects geometry, mathematics, predictable patterns. We're going to show them Earth's oceans during a storm. We're going to show them lightning in the clouds. We're going to show them nature." In Silicon Valley, a team led by teenage prodigy Kevin Jung had reprogrammed every gaming server on Earth into a distributed quantum computing network. The Dominion scan saw only millions of humans playing video games. They didn't realize that every button press, every virtual battle, was helping to solve complex quantum equations that would unravel their perfect defenses. "They think we're wasting time with entertainment," Kevin grinned, his fingers flying across multiple keyboards. "They don't understand that humans turn play into our greatest learning tool. Every kid who ever played space combat games is helping us find ways to beat them." Dr. Elena Santos had moved her operations to a hidden facility in the Andes. Her team had made a breakthrough that would have been impossible without the Dominion's arrogant demonstration of power. Their energy weapons operate on perfect harmonic frequencies, she explained to General Chen via quantum-encrypted channels. "But we've learned something they never considered: how to introduce deliberate imperfection." The general smiled. "They gave us exactly what we needed, didn't they? All that perfect order just helped us understand exactly how to break it." Across Earth, in plain sight but invisible to the Dominion's perfect sensors, humanity prepared. Street artists in Rio created murals that contained encoded quantum formulas. Children's hopscotch games in Moscow mapped out battle strategies. A viral dance challenge on social media trained millions in the precise movements that would later pilot quantum-shifted fighter craft. In orbit, specially modified satellites appeared to be broadcasting normal television and internet signals. In reality, they were weaving a web of quantum entanglement around the planet, creating a defense network that operated on principles the Dominion had never imagined, because it was based on imperfection, on chaos, on humanity's unique ability to find patterns in randomness. Admiral Xinthar, watching Earth from his flagship, saw exactly what he expected to see: a primitive species scrambling to organize their surrender. His sensors showed humans going about their daily routines, continuing their meaningless entertainment, their chaotic and inefficient lives. He noted with satisfaction that they weren't even attempting to move their military forces into defensive positions. What he couldn't see was that humanity had redefined what military forces meant. Every gamer was a training pilot. Every social media post contained encrypted battle plans. Every street dance was a combat drill. Humanity had turned their entire civilization into a weapon, hiding their preparations in plain sight, because they knew the Dominion would never understand or recognize it. In the Pentagon bunker, General Chen received status updates from around the world. Dr. Patel's quantum matrices were ready. Captain Rodriguez's pilots were prepared. Kevin's gaming network had solved the final equations. Dr. Santos had perfected her harmonic disruptors. Status report. Chen announced to the global quantum encrypted channel. All sectors, report readiness. The responses came in from every corner of Earth, hidden in everything from pizza delivery orders to cat videos. Ready. Chen looked at the countdown showing the Dominion's deadline. 6 hours remaining. She smiled. Let them come to collect their surrender. Humanity is ready to teach the galaxy why perfection is overrated. The Awakening. Chaos Unleash. Admiral Xinthar stood on his bridge as the deadline approached, his crystalline form radiating satisfaction. The humans had spent their final hours in typically chaotic fashion. Playing games, sharing videos, dancing in streets. Such a waste of precious time. Now, with just minutes remaining, they would learn the price of disorder. Begin the submission protocols, he commanded. Activate the containment fields. The Dominion fleet's perfect formation began to pulse with energy, each ship contributing to a geometric pattern that would lock Earth in a stasis field. It was a flawless strategy, executed countless times across the galaxy. That's when the first anomaly appeared. In her Andean laboratory, Dr. Elena Santos pressed a single button. Now we show them why humans make music, she whispered. Across Earth, millions of quantum-entangled devices, hidden in everything from smartphones to children's toys, activated simultaneously. Each one emitted a slightly different frequency, deliberately imperfect, creating a cascade of overlapping waves that rippled through space-time itself. On the Dominion flagship, alarms screamed. Impossible. Xinthar's second-in-command stuttered. Their emissions, they're not following any known pattern. Because it's jazz, Elena's voice came through their communication system, clear and confident. Humanity's gift to the galaxy. The art of perfect imperfection. In the Australian bunker, Dr. Patil activated his quantum matrices. The space between the Dominion ships suddenly became alive with probability fluctuations. Their perfect formation began to waver as each ship experienced slightly different versions of reality. You built your empire on certainty. Patil's voice joined Elena's. We built our civilization on embracing uncertainty. Let's see which approach works better. Captain Rodriguez's pilots launched from hidden bases worldwide, their ships seemingly appearing from nowhere as they dropped their quantum camouflage. They moved like a murmuration of starlings, their formations fluid and organic, impossible to predict yet somehow coordinated in their chaos. Battle Plan Alpha, Rodriguez commanded, just like we practiced in the games. Across the planet, millions of gamers who had unknowingly trained for this moment felt their controllers vibrate in a specific pattern. They knew what it meant. The real game was beginning. Kevin Zhang's distributed quantum network came alive. Every gaming console, every smartphone, every smart device on Earth contributed its processing power. The Dominion's perfect defensive algorithms suddenly faced something they had never been programmed to handle: human intuition amplified by quantum computing. You wanted us to submit to perfect order. Kevin's young voice echoed through the Dominion's communications. Instead, we're going to teach you about something humans call emergent behavior. The Dominion fleet's perfect formation shattered as their ships tried to adapt to multiple threats that followed no logical pattern. Their energy weapons, calibrated for precision, couldn't track targets that moved like dancers. Their defensive shields, designed to resist coordinated attacks, couldn't handle the quantum probability storms that Dr. Patel had unleashed. This is impossible. Xinthar raged. Their technology is primitive. Their civilization is chaotic. Exactly. General Chen's voice cut through the chaos. Chaos isn't our weakness, Admiral. It's our greatest strength. Humanity doesn't just survive in chaos. We turn it into art. Around the Earth, the quantum web created by modified satellites activated. It didn't try to block the Dominion's weapons. Instead, it redirected them in unpredictable ways, turning their own perfect energy beams into wild, beautiful patterns that danced across the sky. Do you understand now? Elena asked, her voice almost gentle. You thought order was the highest form of civilization, but the universe itself is built on uncertainty, on quantum probability, on chaos. Humanity didn't advance too quickly. We advanced exactly as we needed to, learning to thrive in the true nature of reality, while you tried to impose false, perfect order on it. The Dominion ships began to retreat, their perfect formations forgotten as they tried to escape the quantum storms, the unpredictable attacks, the sheer chaotic beauty of humanity's defense. But Earth wasn't finished with its lessons. Phase 2, General Chen commanded. Show them why humans love plot twists. Turning point, the art of innovation. As the Dominion fleet scattered in disarray, humanity revealed its next layer of surprises. Dr. Aisha Patel, Raj's daughter and the world's leading expert in quantum biology, stepped onto the global quantum network from her laboratory beneath the Indian Ocean. You studied our technology, she broadcast to the retreating Dominion ships. But did you ever wonder why humans create art? Why we dance? Why we tell stories? It's not just entertainment. It's how we understand the universe. At her signal, the quantum web surrounding Earth began to pulse with new patterns, not attacking the Dominion ships, but rather singing to them. The crystalline beings that made up their crews felt their very structures resonating with the strange, beautiful harmonics. Your crystalline forms are perfect, Aisha continued. Ours are messy, organic, constantly changing. But that's what lets us do this. In orbit, Captain Rodriguez's pilots began a new kind of dance. Their ships moved in patterns based on classical ballet, their quantum drives leaving trails of probability distortions that looked like brush strokes across space. The Dominion sensors couldn't track them because they weren't following tactical patterns, they were following artistic ones. Admiral Xanthar watched in growing horror as his fleet's perfect order dissolved into chaos. This isn't warfare, he protested. This is madness. No, Kevin John replied, his young voice carrying the wisdom of countless gaming scenarios. This is creativity. While you were perfecting your patterns, we were learning to improvise. The teenager activated his ultimate weapon, a quantum algorithm derived from millions of human players making unexpected choices in video games. The Dominion's combat computers, programmed for perfect tactical responses, began to crash as they encountered scenarios that defied their fundamental logic. In the end, Elena Santos added her own element to the symphony of warfare. You know what humans love most about music? She asked as she initiated her harmonic cascade. The moments when it breaks the pattern, when it surprises you, when it makes you feel. The quantum harmonics she released weren't designed to destroy. They were designed to transform. The Dominion's crystalline technology, based on perfect lattices, began to refract and reshape under the influence of human music theory. Impossible, Xanthar whispered as he watched his flagship's crystal corridors begin to ripple with colors that shouldn't exist in normal space. You're violating fundamental laws of physics. No, General Chen corrected him. We're dancing with them. There's a difference. From the Indian Ocean, Aisha unleashed her masterstroke. Humans don't just adapt to our environment, she explained. We learn to sing with it. And now, thanks to you showing us your crystalline technology, we've learned a whole new song. The quantum web around Earth transformed into something the Dominion had never imagined possible, a bridge between organic and crystalline existence. The human pilots, their neural patterns now resonating with the quantum field, began to communicate directly with the crystalline beings of the Dominion fleet. For the first time in their ancient history, the Dominion experienced something entirely new. They felt human creativity, human emotion, human chaos. Their perfect ordered minds encountered jazz, poetry, abstract art, and improvised dance all at once. Some of the crystalline crews began to move their ships in new patterns, not out of tactical necessity, but out of a newfound appreciation for asymmetry and imperfection. Others simply stopped, overwhelmed by their first experience of human artistic expression. "This is what you were afraid of," Alina broadcast to the stunned fleet. "Not our weapons, not our technology, but our ability to see beauty in chaos. Our need to create, to change, to grow without limits or predetermined patterns." Admiral Xinthar stood silent on his bridge, watching as his perfect fleet transformed into an impromptu art exhibition in space. His crystalline form, for the first time in his long existence, began to resonate with something that wasn't mathematically perfect, and found it beautiful. Phase 3, General Chen commanded, her voice gentle now. "Show them why humans believe in second chances." New dawn, the symphony of stars. The space around Earth had transformed from a battlefield into something unprecedented in galactic history. The Dominion ships, their perfect formations forgotten, moved in flowing patterns that echoed human art forms. Admiral Xinthar's flagship, once a symbol of rigid order, now pulsed with colors that told stories in light. "We never wanted to destroy you." General Chen's voice carried across the quantum network, reaching every crystalline being in the fleet. "We just wanted you to understand us, to see why our chaos isn't a flaw. It's our greatest gift to the galaxy." Dr. Elena Santos initiated the final phase of humanity's response. From her Andean laboratory, she released a quantum symphony that she'd composed specifically for crystalline consciousness. "This is how humans make peace," she explained. "We create something new together." The melody that rippled through space was neither purely human nor purely crystalline. It was something new, a harmony of organic and geometric, of chaos and order, of art and mathematics. The Dominion crews found themselves resonating with rhythms they had never imagined possible. In the depths of the Indian Ocean, Aisha Patel watched as her quantum biological interfaces registered something extraordinary. "The crystalline beings," she reported, wonder in her voice. "They're not just listening to our music, they're learning to improvise." From scattered ships throughout the Dominion fleet came new harmonics, clumsy attempts at jazz from beings that had never known anything but perfect scales. The result was strange and beautiful, like children discovering music for the first time. Kevin Jung, the teenage genius who had turned Earth's gaming networks into a quantum defense system, laughed with delight. "They're getting it. Quick, someone show them how to play Minecraft." Admiral Xinthar stood on his bridge, his crystalline form shimmering with unfamiliar emotions. "In all our millennia of enforcing order," he broadcast, his voice carrying notes of wonder, "we never imagined this. We thought we were protecting the galaxy from chaos. Instead, we were denying it the very thing that makes it worth protecting." From every corner of Earth came humanity's response, not in weapons or threats, but in art. Street dancers in Rio performed beneath the shifting lights of crystalline ships. Symphony orchestras in Vienna played duets with the harmonic resonances of Dominion technology. Children in Tokyo flew kites that traced quantum patterns in the sky. Dr. Raj Patel, watching from his Australian bunker, smiled as his quantum matrices registered something unprecedented. "The barrier between organic and crystalline existence," he announced, "it's not just breaking down. It's transforming into something entirely new." Captain Rodriguez's pilots landed their ships, emerging to find Dominion crew members attempting to mimic human dance moves with their crystalline forms. The sight was awkward, imperfect, and utterly beautiful. "This," General Chen broadcast to the fleet, "is why humanity advanced so quickly. Not because we were a threat to galactic stability, but because we never stopped imagining new possibilities. We never stopped trying to create beauty from chaos. Admiral Xinthar made a decision that would change the course of galactic history. His crystalline form shifting into new patterns that no Dominion being had ever attempted before, he broadcast to both his fleet and Earth. The Dominion withdraws its demand for submission. Instead, we request teachers. Elena's voice carried a smile as she responded. And what would you like to learn first? Everything, Xinthar replied. Your music, your art, your dance, your games. But most importantly, teach us how to create something new, how to find beauty in imperfection, how to embrace chaos without losing ourselves in it. General Chen looked out over the changed battlefield, where human pilots were teaching crystalline beings the electric slide, where quantum harmonics carried the sound of jazz played on crystalline instruments, where perfection and chaos had found a way to dance together. Welcome, she broadcast to the fleet, to humanity's greatest secret. We never needed to make the galaxy fear us. We just needed to show them how to play. And so, on a Tuesday that had started with an invasion and ended with a dance party, humanity took its place in the galaxy, not as a threat to be contained, but as artists with a unique vision to share. The stars themselves seemed to shine brighter, resonating with the first notes of a brand new song, played by organic and crystalline hands together.